The dancer, best scene. Interior, Thomas's dining room, night. An absolutely exquisite dinner table with gorgeous flowers, linens, and elegant table settings. 7 men stand behind their seats at the table. Thomas is at the head. Blake's 2 seats away. Thomas sits and the others join. Thomas then moves his hands to his side, grasping the hand of the man next to him. They all join hands.
We are happy to share this food, drink, and friendship, but sad to think of those who are not here. We remember John, Stevie, Morris, and Carrie.
The men, still holding hands, speak in turns, going around the table. Frederick, 58, looks 40, the surgery's helped, sits to the right of Thomas.
Martin and Harvey.
Filipe, 42, in great shape, infectious smile.
Rudolfo, Elliot, and Tig.
Monty, 55, bulked up so much he's got no neck. He tears up, can barely speak, finally gets the name out.
Sammy.
Blake is silent for a few seconds, allowing Monty to compose himself and him to think of someone.
Gunnar and Duke.
Stefan, 64, a design queen.
Willie, Leonard, Michael, Keith.
Dr. Harold Ramsey.
Thomas raises his hand a few inches, squeezes his neighbor's hand tightly. They all follow the same actions.
We remember.
The men let go. Most grab their glasses and take a drink. There's a moment of silence. Filipe looks to Stefan.
Who's Willie?
Willie Smith. Founded Willie Ware. I still have a pair of his pants with the 1-inch orange and gray stripes. Fabulous. Love you some BBC.
Frederick raises his glass. All the guys follow, smiling.
To
BBC.
They clink their glasses. Donnie, 35, the waiter, quietly enters the room and places salad plates on top of the dinner plates.
Guys, since we have a guest, I think it would be appropriate to go around the table and tell a little bit about yourselves.
Thomas nods to Frederick on his right.
Frederick, corporate lawyer. Filipe here.
Frederick nudges Filipe on his right. Filipe raises his hand and wiggles it at Blake.
Is my partner.
I'm Filipe. I'm a personal trainer. 17 years together and still no ring.
Filipe raises his hand again and wiggles his bare left ring finger.
I could get fired if they find out.
It's fine in Minnesota.
Filipe nudges Frederick.
But main headquarters is in Texas. I can't take that chance.
I'm Monty, architect. I design small houses, called wee houses.
Very small. Tiny.
Fuck his dick.
He overcompensates with big muscles.
And when was the last time you actually saw your penis, George?
Bitch.
Girls, be nice. I know it's hard.
What's hard?
Please.
Thomas nods to Blake.
Blake. I'm a dancer.
So we hear?
Thomas motions to Blake to cool it.
I'm at Zazoom. I'm just taking classes at the academy. I'm not in the company.
Yet.
Yet.
Stefan here. I'm a designer, but I used to be a priest.
Outside of florists, those are the most gay professions.
Except for architects.
Stefan used to live in New York City. He fucked Leonard Bernstein.
It's Bernstein, and it was a 3-way.
Stefan nods to George.
George. Enchanté encore. Real estate. Commercial.
He's not an agent.
He's B.I.G. in real estate. A mogul. All those pretty purple biggles for the rent signs downtown? His.
His company owns the saloon building.
My grandfather started the company.
Trust fund, baby.
I'll have you know the company's holdings have tripled since I've been in charge.
Since you've been in charge, your chin has tripled.
Stop it. No more vicious chatter, please.
Everybody looks around, cautious about saying anything.
Well, I guess dinner's over.
Filipe moves his chair back to leave. Frederick reluctantly follows. It's seriously quiet.
Just joking, you bitches.
They all let out a sigh of relief. Filipe and Frederick move their chairs back to the table.
Thank God.
Donnie brings in the last salad plate, sets it down at Thomas's place.
Perfect timing, Donnie, as usual.
Thomas grabs his fork. All the others take their forks and start to eat. Donnie gets the wine bottle and fills the glasses on the table, then leaves the room.
Tucker, dinner music on the piano?
The piano, placed between the dinner table and the living room, starts playing new age, relaxing music.
The salad? C'est fantastique.
Bien sûr. Thank you, Donnie.
The guys turn toward the kitchen.
Thank
you,
you, Donnie.
You're welcome, nasty bitches.
The guys eat their salads and drink wine.
Now that we're all settled down,
Here it comes.
Thomas glares intensely at Stefan.
Okay.
the legislature just cut arts funding again, which means Zazoom and the Performing Center all have been taking major hits. George and I want you to help keep modern dance alive in Minnesota.
Thomas looks directly at each of the diners.
I am going to pledge $10,000.
Thomas looks at each of them again.
In addition, I'll match each of your pledges.
Thomas looks at Frederick.
If we get a week at George's Palm Springs place.
Done.
Done.
Thomas looks at Filipe.
I'm an unmarried personal trainer.
Thomas looks to Monty.
No can do. I'm making tiny, cheap houses now.
Thomas looks past Blake, focuses on Stefan.
Stefan.
A week at your Beacon place in New York.
Done.
Done.
George winks at Blake. Blake moves his chair out, stands.
Excuse me for a minute, please.
Blake leaves the room.
Jesus Christ. Where did you find that?
Interior guest bathroom, night. Blake takes a piss at a stand-up urinal. George, a bit drunk, barges in.
Hey, I'm not done.
George sidles up next to Blake.
I'd like to watch.
Blake, still pissing, tries to lean away, but George's huge body has him cornered.
Give me a break.
George puts his arm around Blake. Blake stops pissing and tries to move away.
Come on, man.
George moves in even closer.
I'll give you $200 to blow you.
You're kidding.
1,000 then. I've got all the candy you want.
Thanks. Not interested.
How about a little peek?
George pulls down Blake's pants, exposing the tiger tattoo on Blake's left groin.
Oh my God, you're the go-go boy.
Blake, pissed, shoves George out of the way and rushes out. Interior dining room, night. Blake, shaken, walks to his empty chair but stands nervously behind it, trying to figure out what to do. The others finish their salads. George enters, then sits down in his chair. Just as George settles in, Blake blurts it out.
This fat fuck just offered me $1,000 for a blowjob.
Thomas, shocked, looks at Blake. Blake stares at Thomas, waiting for some empathy. Nothing.
I'm out of here.
Okay then, get out.
Blake storms off toward the guest room.
Leave the clothes. Just go.
Blake glares at Thomas and the dinner guests.
Y'all are fucked up.
Blake strides into the elevator, presses a button, then disappears as the door closes. Thomas, back at the dinner table, takes a deep breath in, lets it out, tries to calm himself.